Marshal. 6 months. First and last month's rent in advance. Option to purchase attached.
But, Paul, you should...
It's just what we want, Susanna.
Not a finer house in New York City. At this price. Last member of the family died some years ago. My law firm handles the property. Hope you decide to buy it so we can close the estate. Very reasonable.
Oh, the price is incidental, sir. It's a fine homestead. I brought my 2 daughters, Susanna and Melinda, from my palatial residence in Coolwater, Georgia, to make their concert debut at Carnegie Hall, sir. And I can't have them living in a tenement.
Well, of course not, Colonel. You'll find everything in good condition, all ready to move in. I had Mr. Diggs remove the furniture coverings and dust and clean.
What about electric lights?
Begging your pardon, miss. The lights and the telephone will be turned on in the morning.
Very well, then. Don't hesitate to call on my office for anything at all. Good night, and good luck with the concert.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Oh, by the way, if you should hear noises, ignore them. They're nothing. Nothing at all.
Noises? What sort of noises?
Well, miss, I slept in here alone last night. When a house hasn't been lived in for 10 years, the boards creak and the rafters sort of cry out in the night. If a person has too much imagination. I took all the bags upstairs, so if you won't be needing me...
That'll be all, my man. I feel deeply sorrowful at parting with an old family retainer.
Father, we just met him. Tonight.
Eh? Oh.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
This place gives me the willies.
Melinda, we must have a house suitable to our position. This is the only one we can afford.
Our concert's a failure we won't be able to afford 6 months here.
Therefore, our concert must be a success. Children, we're in Yankee territory. We will not retreat. Why, in the morning, this house will look like a mansion.
In the morning? What morning? 10 years since anybody lived here. I wonder how long since anybody died here. I hope the dear departed have departed.
What's wrong? What's happened?
Something was in this room. What are you talking about? A ghost. An invisible ghost. How could you tell if it were invisible? He pinched me.
Oh, now, honey, you've just been dreaming. You go back to sleeping in the morning. Why, you just laugh about it. A ghost pinched you? Why, what an idea.
Father. Look. That's the worst. What does that mean?
By the eternal. Sounds like an old minstrel man doing a soft shoe dance.
We'll be murdered in our beds. I'm not going to be waiting in any bed. I'm going next door for help. I saw the light in front. We need help with the new neighbors. Forgive me for coming right in, but the door was open.
That's perfectly all right. We are always glad to help the neighbor. Boys, let's welcome our new neighbor.
bathing suit here?
It's a dive-aided.
Hey, look, chick, a new customer. Everybody out!
For the customer is always right. And whether they're in jail or whether they're in church, speaking confidentially, we love them until it hurts. For the customer is always right. There's nothing that's too good for him, we treat him like a guest. We bring to him the best of fare, we bring him in the best. And then we pull him an easy chair so he can get some rest. The customer is always right.
Don't look now, but didn't you forget your hat?
Or is the porter making up your birdie?
Hey, how about a game of cards?
Sure, we can clean up. I've got a pigeon. Well, anyone?
Cut the cards.
For the customer is always right. You've heard about the kind of guy who's ready with the quip. The guy who, when you stumble by, says, how'd you like the trip? Instead of tipping the waitress, it's the table he loves to tip. 3 cheers, 3 cheers. The customer is always right.
3 cheers for the customer. The customer is always right. If he's a trifle gay, a gentleman must live. He raps his mother once a day. So what do you say we give 3 cheers for the customer? The customer is always right. To us, he's just like Santa Claus without the old toupee. And as a testimonial, we'd love to shout hooray. For he's the fella who helped to put us where we are today. 3 cheers. 3 cheers.
I owe you.
Because the customer is always right.
Hold it.
What's the matter?
What jaw? You call this duck soup?
No wonder. Decoys.
Bad girl, nice little boy. Don't take it so hard, little fella. Face up. Bad girl, hits nice little fella.
For the customer is always right.
He says I don't like chicken, but this portion is absurd.
He says I don't like chicken, but the chef's a nasty word.
He orders himself a chicken,
But the management gets the bird.
The customer is alive because the customer is
And now, a few words from our guest.
I came here because I needed help fast. Something's happening in our house next door. My father and sister are in real danger. But thanks for your hospitality. If any of you ever need any help, just call on the Marshall family in Coolwater, Georgia. We'll do our best as long as the tar and feathers hold out. Now, I want to leave here, and leave here quick.
I'll bet her Pappy will be surprised when she gets back so quick.
Oh!
Ollie.
Look, Ole, that girl Jerry brought in here.
Yeah, well, what about her?
Might be in real trouble. You ought to find out.
Simmer down, boys. When a lassie hits a joint like this in her undies, she wants a job, that's all.
Yeah, if Virginia thinks Miss Marshall's okay, the kid is really in trouble.
Well, let's get over there. Maybe the filly in the nightgown is a damsel in distress. Come on.
Excuse us, folks. We're going down the street for a cup of good coffee.
And while we're gone, Morton, Downey, and knock off a little ditty.
Hey, Mort!
A cigarette that bears a lipstick's traces, an airline ticket to romantic places, and yet my heart has wings. These foolish things remind me of you. A tinkling piano in the next apartment, those stumbling words that told you what my heart meant. A fairground's painted swing. These foolish things remind me of you. You came, you saw, you conquered me. When you did that to me, I knew somehow this had to be. The winds of March that make my heart a dancer, a telephone that rings, but who's to answer? Oh, how the ghost of you clings. These foolish things remind me of you. How strange, how sweet to find you still. These things are dear to me. They seem to bring you near to me. The scent of smoldering leaves, the wail of steamers, two lovers on the street who stroll like dreamers. Oh, how the ghost of you clings. These foolish things remind me of you.
I didn't know anybody lived here. What are you whispering about? It seems natural. Anybody home?
Stand where you are. Hands get a little bit shaky. I aimed right between the eyes. Summon the sheriff. I've captured those soft shoe dancers.
Wait a minute. We want to help.
We came from our nightclub next door. We're your neighbors.
That's right. They're our neighbors, but we can do without any help from them. I wouldn't care if they were Jack the Ripper and Bluebeard. They're flesh and blood.
I reckon you're right. A little human companionship would go a long way on a night like this. Come up, gentlemen. You may lower your arms. My pardon for firing on you without a formal introduction. Colonel Breckenridge Marshall of Coolwater, Georgia, at your service, sir. These are my daughters, Melinda, Susanna.
How do you do?
How do you do? What's going on here, Colonel?
Believe it or not, this house is haunted.
Haunted? And 3 blocks from Broadway?
They got Shakespeare down the street. Maybe Hamlet's loose again.
Laugh if you want, but I heard an animal growling and a horse galloping up and down the hallway. And there's a warning scrawled on the mirror.
On the mirror? That's nothing. Remember that warning on our wall?
Yeah, pay the rent or get out.
This warning said first the worst. And then we heard the queerest tapping from the ceiling.
Sounded just like a soft shoe dancer.
In perfect rhythm.
Ridiculous. How could a ghost tap dance? Let's get out of here.
Hey, wait a minute. We can't leave these folks unprotected here. Besides, there's no such thing as a ghost. Someone's trying to scare you.
He's doing fine. I'm scared.
Listen, I can catch him. No soft shoe dancer in the world can resist Swanee River. Can you carry a tune?
Sir, my daughter Melinda is going to sing at Carnegie Hall.
Swell. Then give us Swanee River. When he hears it, he'll start tapping. We'll follow the sound and catch him.
And give him plenty of tempo.
Way down upon the Swanee River, far, far away, there's where my heart is turning ever, there's where the old folks stay. Oh, the world is sad and dreary everywhere I roam. Oh, dark is how my heart grows weary, far from the old folks at home. Way down upon
We're getting
the
closer.
Swanee River,
We'll sneak up behind him. Slip him the old knee in the back. Then the kidney crush. Then the pump handle. Then the old uppercut with the foot.
Where'd you hear about them?
I read a book about commandos.
Maybe he read the book. Let's get out of here.
Synchronized watches. What time have you got?
12 o'clock. Midnight.
See? There's nobody in here.
Nobody just blew out the light.
Hey, cut it out. Come on, what are you doing? Hey, I got it out. I'm not doing anything. Well, then stop doing what you're not doing.
Just a little trick. Yeah? Well, I don't want to know how he does it. Let's get out of here.
Hey, wait a minute. You're not scared, are you? What would Dick Tracy do in a spot like this?
That's different. He's in the business.
Wait. Please don't go.
Wouldn't you be ashamed if something happened to us after you left? If we were found murdered or something?
You think we should stay and be found murdered with them?
Well, don't get the idea that I'm frightened. I don't believe in ghosts. But then I didn't believe in radio.
Please say you'll stay.
Come on.
What's the matter?
It's dark outside.
On second thought, we can't leave you girls alone. We'll stay. You know, some people would really believe this ghost stuff.
Not me.
Soft shoe dancing. Slamming doors. Tying ties.
But we're too smart. The whole thing is probably just a practical joke.
Remember Abbott and Costello and the hole that goes? The whole thing turned out to be gangsters.
That was a very unbelievable picture.
Yeah, especially when that candle started moving back and forth in front of Costello. Like that.
Well, good night, Ollie.
And good night, Chick. Hey, what's the matter?
Ollie,
Hey, what's the matter?
I didn't undress me.
No.
For the 10th time, tell them I'm not in.
I keep telling them, Mr. Chambers, but they won't
Then tell them I've been called out of town. I'm not expected back.
I tried that, Mr. Chambers. They said they're going to get in if they have to blast.
Blast.
This is Anna Marshall Seal, sir, with Mr. Olsen and Mr. Johnson.
Sergeant, this is an outrage. An invasion of private property. I'll make an example of you. Miss Weber, call the police.
Yes, sir.
Now, just a moment, Mr. Chambers. There's nothing to be worried about. We'll have this patched up in a jiffy.
Yeah, she can't call the police. We cut your telephone wires.
What?
I want to talk to you, Mr. Chambers. Mr. Chambers, I've come here to cancel our lease. I want our money back.
I'm sorry, Miss Marshall. That is impossible. Your father signed for 6 months.
But you didn't tell us the house was haunted.
Haunted? Now, my dear girl, who would believe that?
I believe it, after last night.
Nonsense. Nobody in his right mind would believe such a thing. And the court certainly wouldn't believe it. You will continue to pay the rent, or else I shall be forced to sue for rent and costs.
But we haven't that much money.
You're party to a contract and must abide by it. As for the noises, they're probably nothing at all. At the worst, they're only Wilbur.
Who's Wilbur?
Why, the legend, of course.
What legend?
You spoil the whole effect. I was trying for a bay window.
Well, what do you think this is?
This way, please, gentlemen.
The guy's got no sense of humor at all. Oh, Hopper's Gazette, huh? Grandpa used to read that.
Now, that's Wilbur Duffington. He fell from your third-story window just before midnight, New Year's Eve, 1900.
The turn of the century.
Yeah, just as the new year came in, Wilbur fell out.
But Wilbur wouldn't explain an animal growling or a galloping horse.
The ghost was probably hunting on horseback.
Wilbur Duffington invited the entire chorus of the musical operetta Lovey-Dovey. He gave each one of the girls a $100 bill in a champagne glass. Wilbur himself only drank plum brandy. Drank plum brandy and did soft shoe dances. What a life.
He fell out of the window before he finished his party?
Legend is that he haunts the house, hoping to finish the party and get his money's worth.
Chick, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Well, if all Wilbur wants to do is to finish the party, and then he'll take a powder.
Leave everything to us.
To spare for a dream we can share. Whose silhouettes the flame discloses, one love affair just for two. I saw the candlelight gleaming where you were.
Wilbur.
It's a pleasure. Besides, I wanted to make up for the other night. It was a dirty trick.
Was kind of surprising to a girl fresh from Coolwater, Georgia. To have Clay Edwards in person here, that's even more surprising.
I asked Virginia Bennett to come along and sing. She thought we were crazy. And tonight, that's all right with me.
Mr. Edwards, I fear I'm going to swoon. With one eye open.
Hold that knife! Champagne for everybody!
Well, sir, this is surely a lovely party. It reminds me of the hunt ball.
And what did you hunt, Colonel?
Oh, the usual things. Widows and divorcees.
The candle.
Wilbur.
He pinched me.
Somebody turn on the light!
I found the switch.
Hey, Chick, where are you?
Look. Second the same. First the worst. Second the same.
Oh, about that. The chick, he was standing here just a moment ago.
The body is always in the closet.
What happened? Wilbur must have grabbed me. He hit me over the head, dragged me to the closet, and threw me inside.
He hit me over the head.
The part that puzzles me is the second the same business. What does it mean?
And the faintest idea, any more than the first warning. That was first the worst.
First the worst, second the same. That sounds vaguely familiar. First the worst, second the same.
Like a nursery rhyme.
Wait a minute. Of course. First the worst, second the same, last the best of all the game.
First was just a noise to frighten us, and second chick was knocked unconscious.
Last the best. That could mean, well, anything.
Somebody must be awfully anxious to get us out of this house. Chick can only think it's really the ghost of Wilbur that's causing all the trouble.
Well, whatever it is, I'm worried for your sake.
Right out here in broad daylight? Why, Mr. Edwards.
Call me Clay.
I just couldn't. My mother always called my father Mr. Marshall.
Okay, but didn't it sort of cramp your father's style? How about when he wanted to kiss her? He couldn't say, Mrs. Marshall.
At such times, Mr. Edwards, there was a minimum of conversation.
Wilbur wants to play rough. Okay, so can we.
He doesn't stand a ghost of a chance.
Fell out there one in 1900 while the band played corny music.
He'd like those old-time long-haired songs. He couldn't take a real jumping jam session.
He's a square.
He's a Nicky.
We'll drive him crazy.
We'll drive him out of the house.
10 seconds to go until midnight. Then find that ghost. Go into the rooms, the halls, the closets. But find him wherever he is and drive him out of the house. Get going.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I wandered round the town, from a house all dark and eerie, there came the most peculiar sound. Truth is stranger far than fiction. I beheld within the gloom a bird who spoke with perfect diction, banging out a chord in the nest.
Quoth the raven, gather round me, I can feel the spirit move. Quoth the raven, you have found me with my best foot in the groove. I know long hair, Middleton's not for me. I belong where the temperature's rise and the rhythm is softly. Quoth the raven, just selector, solid tempo I can rock. Shoot the birdseed to me, Hector, let me fly around the block. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
find it.
I doubt if I can. The war's over. Wilbur surrenders. Will we meet evermore? For the Ravens evermore.
Well. Ah! He pinched me.
We did it! We did it! Wilbur, it's finished! Everybody back to the club!
Wilbur's through. Now you'll be safe here.
Thanks for everything.
Come along, honey child. Mammy doesn't want you getting indigestion on southern fried chicken.
Now, don't you worry about Clay. You just go on home and practice broad jump so you can throw yourself at him.
I better warn you about Clay. Just because he's going to marry me, he hasn't stopped letting his eyes rove at pretty girls. I can see he's tapering off.
Virginia.
Is that true, Mr. Edwards?
Well, yes, we had sort of an arrangement.
Marriage is such a lovely arrangement. So legal.
And for you, so novel.
Shall we go, Clay? I'm a little sick of side poke and chitlins, honey child.
Thanks for the music, Mr. Edwards. Everything was just fine. You must come and visit us again. And bring the missus. At your peril. Everything's going to be all right now.
I just want to get this concert over and go home to Coolwater. New York's a lovely place to visit, but a girl shouldn't forget her brass knuckles.
Ticket sale going briskly, I presume?
Yes, we briskly sold one ticket.
Well, we have another day.
So we sell 2 tickets.
Well, children, it sounded very well to me. Now, if we could only manage to get together an audience, we'll be the toast of New York. Imagine, diplomats, millionaires, celebrities. Oh, drinking champagne out of your slippers.
Well, Marshal, I'm on my way to the club. Hop in.
No, thank you.
You can accept a ride without being compromised, even in Coolwater, Georgia.
Oh, come on. I don't want to get squashed in the subway again.
Consider me one of your admiring public.
You, sir, we consider a rake and a bounder. However, in my younger days, I was one myself. Ah, the second-story windows of the old South. The rose trellises of Coolwater, Georgia. The roses climbed up, and I climbed down.
Father!
Melinda? Good night, sir.
Please, Susanna. I know I'm engaged to Virginia Bennett, but it was one of those business deals. We were working together, and press agents kept writing about the two of us being in love, and well, we started to believe it.
I don't think you're my type, Mr. Edwards. In Coolwater, we take marriage seriously.
You call me, Melinda.
whole band and play ballads under your window if it'll help.
No, thank you. This place is nice and quiet at last. Suppose we leave it that way. Good night. Melinda? Melinda? Father? Father? Melinda, answer me. Melinda?
I've told you once, Ole. I've told you 1,000,000 times never to put 2 rabbits into a hat.
Here, Ole.
What's the matter, Susanna?
She came in talking about a dead body.
My father and sister have disappeared. I opened the closet and the body. Dead body. Diggs, the man who cleaned up our house.
Dead bodies in your closet or bats in your belfry.
Wait a minute, Cherry. That's a very peculiar residence.
I don't know where to turn. I heard the animal growling and the horse again.
Susanna, stay here till you hear from us. We'll go over and get at the bottom of this.
What about the floor show? Don't worry about the floor show. We'll be back in plenty of time. If there's really a body in there, we'll call the police.
Okay, make it quick.
Ole and Chick, be careful.
This time we'll be smart. We won't let anybody know we're coming. We'll climb through the window.
In disguise, and we won't go as Olsen and Johnson.
No. How do we disguise?
We'll go as Johnson and Olsen.
No dead body.
Maybe Susanna is a little loose in the noggin, like Jerry said.
Sure, let's go back. There's nothing out of the ordinary around here. The Colonel and Melinda are probably out somewhere, perfectly safe.
Sure, Susanna was seeing things.
Hey, you crumbs! Not that way, this way!
Talk about seeing things, the things are seeing us.
This way to the cellar.
Looks like the Smith brothers.
In greatly reduced circumstances.
Come on!
Maybe Susanna isn't so crazy. Maybe Melinda and the Colonel are really missing.
I would get you 10 these fellows got something to do with it. We gotta follow them.
They'll probably lead us to Snow White.
Snow White! Snow White! Everywhere we go! Everywhere we go!
Joe.
Hi, Al.
Someone call me?
Yeah. Something's up. We're meeting in the cellar.
Who are those guys?
I don't know, but they were in costume. The boss must have hired them, too.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to stay here and scare the daylights out of the Marshall family.
Oh, I suppose they've been taken care of by now. Come on, boys. There's work to be done. The road's clear.
First we run into Wilbur, now dwarfs. I'm getting a little suspicious about this house. Let's get out of here.
Hey, I think we can handle them.
If they fight fair. What do you say they weigh?
Oh, about 45
pounds?
Sure.
Well, between the both of us, we ought to take them in 6 rounds.
Come on.
What are we waiting for? Open the wall.
Do something.
Well, what?
Try our magic words.
Alakazam, Bazoom, Bazam, open, oh, sesame.
Don't you guys know how to open the wall?
What do you guys think you are, tourists?
Light! Somebody put on a light!
Now get to work. The boss wants everything moved out.
What about the body in the closet upstairs? Does he want that moved out, too?
We've already moved it out.
Anybody we know?
Sure, it was Diggs. Just because he found the cellar, he thought he was entitled to some of the dough.
Silly, wasn't he?
Yeah, that shows you what the boss will do when he's sore. And he didn't invite the Marshall family down here for 4 o'clock tea either.
Now get to work!
Okay.
Only I'm scared. This looks like a hoodlum's masquerade party.
Yeah, they think we're on their side. We can push a barrel around until we find Melinda and the Colonel. There must be $1 million worth of liquor down here.
Maybe this was Wilbur Duffington's wine cellar. I've been forgotten all these years.
We're just keeping in practice scaring people.
With your faces, you don't need no practice. Beat it. I've got to seal these people in. Go on, get away. Hurry up.
Let's bust out and get help. It's a solid wall, Jake. Try our magic words. Shazam. Open sesame. Alakazam. It worked. The magic word. We'll bring back the FBI, the police, the army.
But Ole, what if we didn't open the door? What if...
If somebody else did?
Grab 'em!
out of here. Wait a minute, that hurt my ankle.
Get him.
There they are. Goodbye, old paint. You were a wonderful horse. But you're heading for that last roundup. Riding to that last corral. No more doggies. No more clover. Many's the time we rode the trail together. Just him and me. He was more to me than a friend. He was my horse. You should understand, brother.
I do.
Let me take him out on the open prairie. Let me bury him on the trail that he loved the best. For all of these years, he's been a carrying of me. This time, I'm a carrying him.
Didn't I meet you at a 2-horse parlay at Pimlico? Wait a minute, he ain't no horse!
Don't worry about a thing. I'll get out of this before you can count 10. Used to do an escape act in vaudeville. Start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 1/4, 9 1/2, 9 3/4. Don't help me. I'll get out of this in a second.
First, the worst. Second, the same. Last, the best of all the game. The air in here can't last more than a few hours. Then we're doomed.
Happy days.
Oh! Coolwater, Georgia was never like this.
Now, look, miss, we've been all over the house. We didn't find no dead body. We didn't find no Olsen and Johnson. We didn't find nobody.
Wait a minute, officer. I've been trying to find Olsen and Johnson, too.
They ain't here.
But they did go into that house last night, and they haven't been seen since.
My father and sister may be in danger. You've got to do something.
I think I can explain everything. These quaint young Southern belles are making their debut at Carnegie tonight. Nobody ever heard of them, so a little publicity stunt is called for. Where is the poor little girl, asked the headline. Come to Carnegie tonight and find out.
So you're making a debut at Carnegie tonight, eh?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Come on, boys. Wasting our time.
Clay, what am I going to do?
Why, fling your arms around Clay's neck, of course, dear.
I'd like to break our engagement right over your head.
Don't get me sore, darling. I might leave that tired band of yours, and then you'll be back playing for beer and pretzels. Think it over.
Better go with her.
I like beer and pretzels. Susanna, I'm sure Melinda and the Colonel will turn up all right. If they're not back by this evening, we'll tear the house apart brick by brick.
Nine 99 100s.
That's one way of doing it. Well, we're not going to die of thirst here anyway. Mighty fine stock of liquor they got here. I ought to know. Often posed for whiskey ads in the good old days.
The whole cellar is full of liquor. It's worth a fortune.
Can you imagine what nitwits those killers must have thought we were? Giving parties, putting on jitterbug numbers to chase Wilbur out of here?
As if there were no Wilbur.
Breakfast, anybody?
Look at.
Plum brandy.
That stuff works fast. The Colonel hasn't even got the bottle open yet.
Gentlemen, that was not I who reacted alcoholically.
help us get out of here?
We're dying and he's giving us tap dances.
Way down upon the Swanee River, far, far away. There's where my heart is turned.
You know, it's very difficult to materialize after a bottle of plum brandy. It's so hard to concentrate, you see.
Wilbur, Mr. Duffington, you're our last hope.
Oh, my dear, I'm always willing to help the fair sex. I fell for a girl once. 3 stories.
Please, no jokes at a time like this.
Wilbur must have a ghostwriter.
We gotta get out before we suffocate.
My daughter's due at Carnegie Hall tonight. Well, the cellar to the nightclub is right on the other side of that wall. You could go upstairs, out on the street, and take the subway to Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, but how do we get through the wall?
Why, it's as easy as pie. Like this.
There is really a corny ghost.
A few more hours here and we'll be able to walk through a wall. Just like Wilbur. Chick, if our club is on the other side of that wall...
Yeah?
My magician's coat.
Well, what about it?
Wrong pocket. What are you doing there? You should have been in my hat. Break through the wall. Carnegie Hall and make our debut.
About time you was getting here. I've been trying to dig it up somebody.
I won't forget, but I won't be
I'm not kidding, folks. They're trying to kill us. They're murderers to kill a man next door.
Keep going. We'll fill in.
Fill in? What are you talking about? I'm serious. What are you laughing about? This is on level. These guys are murderers.
I suppose for an encore you commit suicide.
Oh, are you guys nuts? Or what's the... Hi, boys.
Hey, Jerry, get help quick. They're killing us.
You are killing me. That's the best act you ever got. When you rehearsed it.
Let go that toe now, kid. Let me up. Let go of my limb.
Certainly looks realistic, doesn't it?
Give him the works.
Why don't we knock him off in the cellar like the boss did Diggs?
Because we wouldn't like it. Get over against the door.
All right, come on, come on.
Yeah, you too. Get over there. Say, what is this, a costume party?
Yeah, they had our costumes all picked out. Wooden kimonos. Thanks for showing up in time.
Wait a minute. We're all here. Who called for you?
We picked up a complaint from Desk Sergeant Hughes. Some guy said his estate owns this house. There was something funny going on. Hey, Mr. Wilbert Duffington, and he came through the station house wall.
Came through the station house wall. Officer, I want to thank you for saving our lives.
All right, Mike, take him down. Come on. Well, boys, I guess that's the works.
Hey, wait a minute. What about the boss? The guy in the mask. He's the real killer.
He's still out. He'll murder us.
I've got an idea. Whoever the boss is, he thinks his men have killed us and he can take this place over.
Of course. So if we just lay a trap for the rat...
Who's going to be the cheese? Don't look at me like that.
The first one that comes through that door, the killer.
Murder you!
What's the meaning of this outrage? Don't try to weasel out of it.
You've got the face of a killer. We can have picked you from the beginning.
I demand to be instantly released. I came here to see Colonel Marshall. I represent Carnegie Hall.
How do we know, sir, you are what you represent?
I have a certified check here for you. From Carnegie Hall.
A certified check for me? Delightful.
I've been looking for you for hours. To tell you that since only one ticket was sold for your daughter's debut tonight, we've been forced to cancel your contract and scheduled a charity concert instead. However, I've been authorized to give you a check for $500 for the inconvenience.
Well, we wouldn't like to interfere with a charity concert. Permit me to hold that check.
There's just one stipulation. The one-ticket buyer must be accommodated.
Couldn't we give him his money back?
Oh, he refuses. So I've made arrangements for him to remain at home and stand by his telephone.
Well, if that's what he wants, we'll put it on right. Come over to our club.
Yeah, we'll back you up with an orchestra and everything we've got.
Come on.
If you say I'm immature, I'll ask you to limit your remarks. True, I'm not going out, but my heart is throwing out some sparks. Men may soon adore me, sparks become a blaze, torches may burn for me one of these days. I've reached that certain age, that ring up the curtain age, when love stirs in my heart. I'm old enough to dream, just old enough to dream.
He's trying to kill us.
I got it now. Diggs found the liquor, offered to sell it to Jerry. Jerry killed Diggs, then tried to scare the marshals out so he could have all the profits for himself.
Okay, so I confess. Because you're glad to get it off your chest, huh? I'm glad to get you off my stomach.
Hey, man, fill my waiting arms. You came with all your lovely charms and made my dreams come true. I'm old enough to learn a tender song will swell. Who loves symphonic things? I'm old
Well, Chick, with Jerry on his way to the Hooskow, we got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, safe at last.
Hey, Chick. Chick, what is this?
Looks like the end. So long, folks.